Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new show, Pacific Standard Guys. My name is Carter Briggs, and with me, as always, or for the first time, are my co-hosts, Mason Winter.
Nice to meet you.
And Abel Stoika.
How's it going?
Was that intro? Was that intro to radio hosting?
I think it might have been. I don't know what to do.
Podcasting is modern radio, dude.
All right. Okay.
We'll figure it out next time.
All right. Yeah. This will evolve. It'll evolve and grow. Today on Pacific Standard Guys, we all watched the movie ERAGON. ERAGON from Abel. What year is it? Abel, you're our stat guy. What year is ERAGON?
2006. I believe.
2000
6 or 7.
2006 and or 7's ERAGON.
2006.
Okay, perfect. We know the year. We know the year it came out. So let's just jump right in. Where do we want to start, gentlemen?
Do you want to give an overall sense of the movie, or go into specifics first?
Let's give a why don't we give a brief overview of the plot, okay? And then we'll go into a review stage, huh?
Sounds good.
We'll do a spoiler and non-spoiler review, huh?
I don't think I find it hard to believe that people are gonna watch part of it and go, I can't get ERAGON spoiled for me, and turn it off. So full spoilers. ERAGON is a movie about a guy who finds a dragon egg and it hatches, and then it turns into a big dragon that's also a woman that can speak to him telepathically. And then he meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they go on a quest and beat the bad guy. And I thought, I've seen this movie. My grandpa bought this movie on DVD and left it at my house when I was a kid. So I've seen it a good 5 or 6 times just from that. And I always thought it was super cool because it had a dragon in it and, a guy with a sword. And I think he has a sword.
He does by the end.
Well, what did you think about this movie, Mason?
My real life memory, nostalgia recollection of this movie is one flash of hay bales being on fire. I think I might have watched this movie when I was 7 or 8 and remember absolutely nothing. Coming back to it, I came away overall thinking that it was not too bad. One of my big things that I was trying to pay attention to, especially because it was an older movie, was the CGI, especially with Saphira the dragon. And I felt honestly, the way that they lit her in certain scenes and stuff, it was actually passable for most of the movie.
I think that the director of the movie was a VFX guy. I was looking into that. I thought the special effects looked pretty good as well.
I really liked him, and I really liked the dragon design where it's scaly, but also the wings kind of have a feather thing going on. I really like the dragon design. I really like it. And I really like, I like a lot of the look of characters in this movie. I think this is a very aesthetics first kind of movie. And you can definitely see that in the writing and the editing and the pacing and the everything else about this movie. But it looks great. It looks the effects and the aesthetic of this movie are very good. I very much like them.
One note that I have about the pacing is I always, even when I was a dumbass little kid watching this movie, I always was that is crazy that the dragon, he just lets it fly and it comes back fully grown in a matter of seconds.
2 seconds.
I was thinking as an adult, let's see. I'm going to look this up because I almost guarantee that's not how it happened in the book. And I looked it up, and for sure it took months, if not years, I think, for the dragon to get to that size.
Yep.
Which is just an indictment on how fast the pacing had to go for. I think it's only a PG movie.
It is. It's PG.
So it's definitely going for that Harry Potter demographic instead of like a more Lord of the Rings kind of thing. Even though the Harry Potter movies are super long, the second Harry Potter movie is the longest one. It's like 2 hours 40 or something. It's ridiculous.
There's an inherent problem, I think, adapting a book to a screenplay, and you're gonna have to cut out a lot of stuff. As opposed to writing a movie for screenplay purposes, and it definitely showed here, I think.
Oh, well, what my first note is, how long is the first act supposed to be? Like, over what period of time does the first act take? Because it's like, firstly, it opens with like a bit of narration about like a dragon battle and the old dragon riders and how like 2 of them became evil and took down the rest, right?
Yeah.
And then like it jumps into some people running away in the woods with what we learn is a dragon egg, and then the lady magically sending it to the guy it's supposed to get to, which, why didn't she just do that in the first place and then run away? You know what I mean? But whatever. I'm not here to I'm not here to nitpick.
I didn't think that wasn't my interpretation of what happened.
Well, they only hatch. It said they only hatch when they go to their true rider, right?
Yes, so it was my interpretation that she had just launched it to a random place in hopes that somebody would at least find it and take care of it.
Oh.
But
yeah, because it said that
it was just lucky.
Hadn't hatched for hundreds of years.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't hatch without a rightful owner or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think she had any idea that would possibly have happened. I think she was just trying to get it away.
It was like a Hail Mary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was luck. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
That's fine then. But it is,
and that's where they start our story.
Yes. And then it goes at just such a breakneck. It's like, hey, here's the cousin, here's the uncle, here's the guy. Oh, here's the townsfolk. They don't really like this guy who's the new dragon rider and the hero of our story. Oh, they think he's a bit of a loose cannon idiot. Moving on, here's the sage character. He's played by freaking Alfred in Batman vs. Superman. What's his name? Jeffrey Irons. Jeremy Irons. Jeffrey Irons. What am I doing? Jeremy Irons. And he's like the best actor in this movie, but like his character is tortured for some reason because he killed a bad guy and his bad guy dragon, so he's tortured.
He's almost like Jaime Lannister, except nowhere near as well written or given the time to show that off.
Well, also Jaime Lannister is a bad guy who regrets his actions. Jeremy Irons is a good guy who killed a bad guy and is now like, why'd I kill that bad guy?
I don't understand why it's such a big, like, he feels like such a huge outcast, I guess. They just kind of tell you that, but, like, I don't know. I think the worst part of the pacing, besides that dragon shit that I really dislike, is the archer guy at the end. He shows up,
yes,
helps him out, and they're like, oh, he's a bad guy. And he goes, well, I'm actually a good guy. And they're like, too bad. And he's like, wait, don't kill him. He saved me like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then he's like one of the main characters. I think he's on the poster of the movie.
He is.
Like,
he's in like 5 scenes.
I think it's another consequence of the book. I think he's a major,
no, for sure, character. For sure. And like, here's this. I'm gonna rattle off some like complaints, and you guys tell me if you have any thoughts. Okay, here's complaint numero uno. I can look past a lot of stuff in a fantasy action. What I cannot look past is that the action scenes make no sense and seem like they were edited by like a drunk monkey. You know what I mean? Like, especially that action scene in the forest where they fight the bugmen. And I like those bugmen. That's a pretty fun design. It's a cool concept. Like, this evil wizard puts together these weird bugmen assassins and he sends them after this kid. But that action scene in the forest, like, literally there's like 2 bugmen or something fighting Jeremy Irons. Why do I keep doing that? And then like he's on the back foot and then Eragon gets attacked by one, and then he just suddenly appears next to Eragon. Like, not even like an off-camera, he killed the Bugman. Like, mid-swing, he just shows up next to Eragon, even though they were like 50 yards apart. It makes no sense. There's no sense of movement or like tension. It's so strange, the pacing and the editing.
It's like if they shot it to be PG-13, and then in the editing room they were like, well, we kind of want to make this for kids. Mm-hmm. So they had to just edit it together like it just needed to be quicker, and they cut everything out that made everything make sense, is my guess. Mm-hmm. Or they just really didn't know what they were doing, because this director has not directed anything since then. It's been, 18 years.
It is. The action is like the non-dragon action. I think the dragon action really works, and it's very well put together. And I think partly it's because it's easier to just like fly and light shit on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's easier to animate something that makes sense because you can just go back and move the object and move the camera around in post.
But the sword fighting, the like any person-to-person combat in this movie is very badly edited, and it really took me out of the movie, because like usually in an action scene you're like living in the moment, but in this I kept being like, how do you fucking get there? He wasn't there. This makes no sense. Which way is anyone facing? What's going on?
I think Abel's probably spot on in that they were targeting a much younger audience with the movie.
Well,
which, like, that's fine, but, like, you gotta do that, like, I don't know, it's kind of like how, it's like comparing, like, Pixar to, like, Minions, where, like, Harry Potter is, like, that's a kid's movie, at least at the beginning, but it's still, like, very interesting as an adult.
It develops and it evolves into a deeper story as the characters get older, along with the audience as they get smarter.
Yeah,
are able to understand bigger themes.
From the get-go, like, it's very easy to get into it, whereas if you're, like, I don't know, if you're, like, a 42-year-old dad and you go take your kid to this movie and you're just like, oh my god, I can't wait for this to fucking end, and then it ends because it's in, like, it's like 100 minutes long, and you're like, okay, that felt a lot longer, but your kid's probably obsessed with it because they have dragons and swords and stuff like that.
They have the coolest early 2000s sword. I remember as a kid thinking, this sword is awesome. It's so over designed and red, and that's all compliments from me. It's the most like early 2000s like extreme fucking X Games sword I've ever fucking seen. It's so good.
Sword of Gryffindor?
No. This
okay.
His like dragon killer sword.
The sword of Allegasia.
Yes, whatever.
I think. Allegasia's the dimension. Is it Zarok?
I don't know. It's whatever. It's the sword. It's the dragon killing sword, and it's awesome. Yeah, that's about it. Also, I love it's very early 2000s in the way that they like have like the words that cast spells. Like Brazinga is such a cool word. It's fun to say. It sounds like you're making an explosion happen.
Brisinger?
I heard Brisinga. Was it Brisinga or Brisinger?
That sounds like Bazinga.
Well, Bazinga!
I read the book when I was a kid, and I think the third book is called Brisinger, with like
it's like GR like at the end.
Yeah, it's some like Gaelic ass name.
Fucking Gaelics.
I don't know if I could go back and read the book. Like, I feel like it would just be like so mid. Like, I remember I did this recently with the Warriors books. I was really into the Warriors books when I was a kid. And then, like, during COVID, I went back and, I'm like, I think I'm 19. Yeah, I was 19 and I was reading them and I was like, damn, this is really written for, like, 8-year-olds.
Yeah,
like,
yes, the Warriors cat series. Yes, Abel, yes.
Yeah, but, like, the ERAGON book, it's probably a slightly older demographic, but I'm probably going to read that and just be like, damn, this was not as cool as I thought it was when I was, 11 or whatever. They should do a Warriors movie or series or some shit on Disney Plus.
I think there's a plan to on some streaming service to make that.
I feel like for success, I feel like for that to be any sort of success, it kind of has to be animated.
It would have to.
Oh, yeah.
No, I disagree. I think you do it like the movie the movie version of the musical Cats, and it's just like hell
because we
creatures.
saw how that went.
Yeah, it was great, and everybody loved it. And it's just you just make Taylor Swift and like other and like Jason Derulo. You make them look like awful cat monsters, and like I think it really worked out well.
Make it a 10-episode, hour-long prestige series in the format of Game of Thrones, but everybody looks like the characters from Cats 2019. That would be so insane.
That would be amazing. I would watch the fuck out of that. Would you not watch the fuck out of that?
I would watch that multiple times. I have not started the Penguin show. I've heard it's great, but if the Warriors Cats 2019 Game of Thrones HBO original came out, I would watch that first. No shame.
No shame in it. No shame in it. I have two things. First off,
you have two things.
I have two things. Okay, actually, I have more than two things. First off, I want to see the Morzan character. Am I wrong? I feel like they set up a Morzan flashback like 8 times throughout this movie, and they never gave it to us.
Is that the guy that gets killed by...
Yeah, Morzan is the guy, Jeremy, whatever his name is. Irons
you
kills.
You had it right the first time.
Whatever his fucking name is. Fucking... He's the one that he is like all regretting killing, and the dad of one of the characters on the poster, and we never see him. Like, I want a flashback.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he plays Mufasa in the original Lion King.
Who? No, he plays Scar.
No, Scar. That's... I don't know the names of the Lion King characters, clearly.
Scar's the one with the fucking scar.
Yeah. Scar is the bad guy because his name's Scar. Imagine naming your kid Scar.
It's not... He got the name later in life. It's all lore. It's gonna be explored in the Mufasa prequel coming out in theaters.
Oh, thank God. How many Disney... I can't even get invested in it unless there's going to be multiple Disney Plus original series.
Where's my Timon and Pumbaa Disney Plus original series? Oh wait, they already did that on Disney Channel. It was actually a bit of fun.
They should set up in the Mufasa prequel. They got to set up new characters who are going to get their own original shows in like 2 years.
Yes.
And so by the time that they've already started making them, when the movie comes out and nobody likes them and the movie doesn't do as well as the first one, then they're already stuck in because they've already spent $100 million on it.
They can't turn back.
I think that's a genius plan.
It's a good idea. I think the Mufasa prequel live-action Lion King is a great idea. This is me saying this.
I hate it when people call it live action. It's not.
What do you mean? It's actual lions, you idiot. They trained them to talk.
The photorealistic version.
The emotionless, soul-crushing version. Anyway, back to ERAGON. Back to an older, about same quality movie. Back to
yeah, we're talking about ERAGON. I love ERAGON. Let's talk about ERAGON.
Let's talk about ERAGON. Okay, ERAGON. Fighting's bad. Pacing's bad. Editing's bad. Special effects are good. It's good. The look, very maximalist, early 2000s. Love it. Questions. Why does the dragon... Mason, what's the name of the dragon? Saphira. Why does she know everything?
She's got a cool name.
She does have a cool name, but why does she know? She was literally born like yesterday. How does she know all this shit?
I think it has something to do... Like, it's got to have something to do with the fact that she can communicate telepathically. Like, that to me is a sign of something with a very strong, like, mind and intellect. At least, like, maybe they're knowing beings in the egg.
Oh, true. So she was, like, listening in the eggy.
Maybe.
Okay. Second question. Why is ERAGON such a dumb fucking idiot?
Because he's literally 17 in the movie.
No, but he's so dumb. And how does he not know about dragons? Because they can't be that old. You know what I mean?
Okay, that was one of the themes that I kind of liked, was that the only dragon that existed was the king's.
No, I like that, but how does he not know that there used to be, like, however many there... Because, like, there were a lot more, and there were, like, dragon riders, and they kept the peace. That's the...
Okay, well, realistically, with the character of ERAGON, has he seen anything besides the farm he's grown up on?
I guess, but he knows about the world at large. He knows about, like, the army and that they're pretty shit, and he knows about the rebels.
But dragons haven't been a presence in hundreds of years.
Not 100, because fucking Jeffrey, whatever his fucking name is, Scar, he rode one, and he's like 40.
Okay, but not in this kid's lifetime, so they're gone by now.
I guess, but like I know about shit that wasn't real, like that was over by the time I was alive. I know about Cheers.
Yeah, but we got the internet. We got the internet, man.
I guess.
I feel like Saphira's brain is connected to like Dragon Internet.
Dragon Internet. That's actually where the franchise was going.
No, what is it?
Dragon.
Saphira has Neuralink.
Elon Musk fucking got to Saphira in the egg. That was the first sentient test of Neuralink.
Yeah.
She's got a big... Actually, you can't see it, but behind one of her scales, she's got a big, stupid fucking bump where the Neuralink is placed.
That's her Neuralink implant.
Yeah, Elon Musk dimension traveled to the ERAGON universe and impregnated the dragon. His breeding king went crazy. Yeah, man. It's real. Look it up on DragonNet, dude.
This is the first episode.
I mean, he has like 9 children. I wouldn't be surprised if one was like part dragon.
Just to like, maybe like a quarter.
Or identified as a dragon.
You guys want to do a little trivia?
Let's hear it.
Guess how old ERAGON is in the book.
Let's hear it.
17,
you guys
right?
gotta guess. He's 17 in the movie.
He's 12 in the book.
I'm going to say 14.
He is 15 in the book.
Oh, fuck.
That's
Mason was closer.
Pretty minor age difference compared to like, I don't know, the Percy Jackson movies.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean?
7 years older.
What do you mean? 12 to 27 is like a very comparable age. It's the same. It's the same
It'd be really
thing.
funny if they were like in the Percy Jackson movies, they were like canonically the same age as the actors.
Well, the first Percy Jackson admittedly was like passable, but they just waited so long, and they at first chose somebody who was already too old that like
Yeah,
he was gonna age out 2 or 3 movies in, and then they
Like,
waited so long for the sequel.
Like Daniel Radcliffe is like, how old do you think he was when they made the first Harry Potter movie?
well, he's the same height, so it's fine.
He was like 12.
He was like 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
And imagine if they waited 4 years to make the second one.
Yeah.
He would have been 16.
That's the same. 13, 16. What's the fucking difference? Come on, it's the same. It's the same.
So glad that
I
clip
forgot.
exists.
I forgot what I read it in, but something was talking about themes and inspiration being drawn from Lord of the Rings, and I felt like I could definitely see that with like, what was it? I think Arya was like the elven princess, you know, and like the Urgles were like, to me, a form of like orc, you know. But I also felt like certain ideas, like the dragons being bonded with their riders, and like even their life being tied to like the dragon rider's life, I felt like certain themes within it had me interested enough where like I definitely kind of am interested in checking out the novel now.
I agree. There's some interesting stuff. Like that, I agree that like a world where dragons aren't like their own beings, but they're connected to humans in some type of way, right? Is very interesting.
I feel like there's a lot of things that like are probably definitely fleshed out better in the book.
Oh, for sure.
Over the course of 4 novels.
That's what I was about to say. I think all that is interesting, but this movie chose not to explore any of the interesting parts, and instead it just kept the same. It just kept giving me the same exposition over and over about how the king is evil now. You know what I mean?
I spoiled myself by opening the wiki just to try and get some information before this. I learned who Eragon's dad is.
It's the king. It's the fucking king, isn't it? Isn't it?
No.
Who is it? Is it Jeffrey Iron?
Dumbass.
Is it Jeremy Iron?
Dude.
Yeah, that figures. That doesn't track
That's
in this
crazy.
movie, though. That really does not track at all in this movie, though.
Can't believe you spoiled that for me. I was literally gonna read it right after this.
That's
The whole
actually
book.
so much
No,
more.
wait. Go ahead, read it. It doesn't. They don't reveal till the third book.
You know what? I was reading like a list on I think the same wiki as you were looking at. It was like a list of differences between the book and the movie, and the main evil king guy. Okay, it's because there's like the creepy looking guy who like can
Durza.
like
Yeah,
apparate.
Durza.
And then
Rumpelstiltskin.
there's-
Yeah.
Is it the same actor from
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time?
Dude,
Yeah.
he plays a grimy
Holy shit.
character in anything that he's in.
He's such
He's
a
grimy as hell.
he's a grimy shitbag in every role he's ever been cast in.
What
He
a
does it
great
well.
job, honestly. I would love to you just get to have fun every time that you work.
You just get to show up on set and be like, "Blah, blah, I'm evil."
And then there's the king guy that he talks to, right? Is
Yeah.
that the king?
John
Yeah,
Malkovich.
that character, you don't see him through like there's no like scene in the book where he is present. You just hear about him, which I
No.
think makes it kind of more interesting than
Yes.
I
having
think
a
it was
bunch of
definitely
random
intentional,
scenes
and
where you
there
see
was plans for another one. But
yeah, like John Malkovich just talking in a room isn't that scary, but
In
having
like a
like
terrible
big
set
like
room.
yeah, you could have like a fucking like Dormammu looking like vision thing where like you just see like a ball of fire like talking to this guy. It's like
The Wizard
clear
of
that it's
Oz.
not. Yeah, and you could have the Wizard of Oz, and that would be so much cooler than just John Malkovich in a room for like 4 scenes out of the movie, and then he just talks, and that's it.
I, John Malkovich, the great and powerful. There's
You're telling me.
there's a go fucking get him. That is
what did
like
you think? What did you think of Durza's shade dragon at the end?
I thought it was fun. I thought of the demon. I thought that was the best fight in the whole movie.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was pure, like, kind of cartoonish, but also really fun because there's nothing to complain about, really.
My only question about that scene is where did the fucking 500-foot castle appear out of? Because they live in tunnels in the mountain. And then, like, when there's a wide shot, it's like a shorter castle. It's like a fort, more like. And then, like, when they're flying around, it's like a fucking huge castle with, like 100, like football fields of walls, and, like, it's hundreds of feet high. It's like a video game level, that castle. It's
Speaking
like,
of video games, it's got its own video game.
does it?
Yeah, it came out like this was during the time where every like movie with a budget over $50 million for kids had a game on like every single console at home and portable. Like
There was a
the
DS
current
game.
generation, and yeah, there's a DS and a Game Boy Advance game and an Xbox 360 game. Like it's literally like what shovelware, I guess is what they call it. Like it's just available on literally everything. I do want to play that. I want to play it bad, just to see if the game is better than the movie, because it might be.
It could be.
About the CGI and like the cinematography, Carter, I had a question towards you. Did they use a combination of like helicopter and crane shots for some of those aerial ones?
I have no idea. That's actually a great question.
Because it looked like for some of the higher up ones they did. And my only gripe was like, understandably, there's certain shots where it's like you're looking through the dragon's eyes, right? And so those totally made sense to me. But the other ones were like, I think the one thing that would have made it like better and given you a sense of being on Dragonback was just some sort of element in the foreground of Saphira.
Yes.
Like just any little bit.
Just like how House of Dragon does their dragon riding.
Yeah.
I think they do it perfect, where like when it's from the perspective of the rider, you can see kind of the dragon's head.
Yeah.
Bobbing in and out of... Yeah, exactly.
But that's it.
Mm-hmm. And then like they have that big saddle contraption.
That's got to be so expensive to do, like just a giant, like, mechanical bull-ass dragon in front of a green screen.
Yeah, but you only got to make it
Like, how much
once.
do you think
No, but they didn't even need to do that. They had so many shots where Saphira looked so great, like full body, like in torchlight, and she looked great. All they needed in the foreground for some of these aerial shots was just like a little bit of the top of her head, and it would have sold it, I think, so much better.
I agree.
But that's like a mini gripe at what I felt like was like pretty well done CGI throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm. No,
Even
totally.
in a not great movie.
Yes. Fuck, it was bad.
I was gonna say, I originally was like not sure what I would like, but you guys may have like cemented me at like a 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6.
Okay. All right. Abel, do we have any closing thoughts before we give a little rating here?
I think it's crazy that we went through this whole little review and we didn't talk about how fucking weird it is that the dragon is like an older woman that's like talking like that to like a 17-year-old.
Is like a 30
so
is like
weird.
Is like a 35-year-old woman being like, "What up, baby? You're my
It's
life
Rachel
partner."
Weisz. Yeah, we're bonded now. You can't leave me.
Hey, I know you're 17, but you're my life partner. Forever.
Yeah, it's been decided. You have no say.
I actually chose you. I chose you, so now you have to ride me into battle. Wait a minute, what? Wait, Mason.
Saphira!
Saphira! Literally all he screams. What was the direct?
Optimus!
Optimus! No! What's the Not gonna lie, at least Shia LaBeouf was crazy enough that like he kind of sold the like just acting to CGI nothingness, you know? He really sold it.
Imagine if Shia LaBeouf played ERAGON. That'd be crazy. I bet they would have made a second one.
Dude, if Shia LaBeouf played...
They would have, yeah.
If Shia LaBeouf played ERAGON and the dad's like... The scene where the uncle is like, I don't know, I think I just want you to stay on the farm. Or like when he's like flirting with the princess or whatever, he just talks real fast. He's like, well, here's the thing. Because it'd be that era of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and he just gets angry about everything, even if the
Yes.
plot doesn't really like need him to be.
Whoa! Whoa! What do you mean you killed the last dragon? What are you talking about? What?
I just pictured the elven princess showing up, and it's Megan Fox.
Oh my god. I would have insisted they make a second movie. There's a scene where she's like, it's like the scene in the first Transformers where she's like all like, the hood is open, and it's where every dude of our generation like first was like, oh my god, women, right? But like it's that, but it's a dragon, and she's like got the dragon's mouth open, and she's like throwing meat in or some shit. She's like doing under the hood work on a dragon.
Dude, I feel like mine was like Avatar.
What do you mean yours was
To
like?
be honest. Like the
When they
last
do the
Airbender.
hair stuff?
Oh,
No, I think it was like not like the domineering of like what's Zuko's sister?
Azula.
Oh, you mean the show?
Not yeah, not like the like domineering chick that Azula was, but her gymnast friend.
Oh, Ty Lee.
Ty Lee?
Yeah. I always thought Ty Lee was cute.
Oh, that was the first girl you were like, oh my god.
I think so.
Mine wasn't Megan Fox. Mine was Sam from Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom.
Yeah, she's a go-to. I never watched Danny Phantom, and I know Sam from Danny Phantom.
I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I played the games on Nick.com.
He wasn't. What do you mean you weren't allowed to watch it? What does that mean?
I didn't.
He was gay.
Like, I had only had like PBS Kids. Like, I wasn't. My parents just didn't get Nick or Cartoon Network or Disney. Or whatever.
Did you watch that show that was like the library with the lions?
Between the Lions.
Bro,
I
cliffhanger
don't-
hanging from a cliff? What you know about
Backyardigans.
cliffhanger hanging from a cliff?
I got Backyardigans on DVD from the library. That's how I watched it.
Dude, Backyardigans, best show
That
ever.
was also a solid.
Wait,
This review is not on Backyardigans.
we're so off track. We're so off track. Hold on. Reel back.
Next week, we're talking about Backyardigans.
No, wait.
You really don't like the Backyardigans.
No, I love the Backyardigans. That's why I'm saying don't joke about doing a review. I'm going to make you guys do a review of Backyardigans
Pablo.
one of these days. Pablo is the best character. Pablo is the best
Pablo.
character by far.
Hands down.
He is the best 3-season arc by far.
Better than Jamie?
Dude, better than fucking Jamie. Better than Jamie. Pablo is
know.
Pablo is peak fiction.
Pablo's peak fiction.
We
Anyway.
should go on tangents more often.
Yeah, that's great. More often, it's the first episode. Anyway, we got it. Okay.
Closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. My closing thought is I don't have any. I think we covered it. The action's bad. The editing's bad. The CGI is good. The dragon stuff is mid, and the dialogue and writing is bad, and the exposition just repeats itself over and over and over again. We fucking get it. The king went
I
bad and
think-
killed all the dragons.
Yeah, but I think Abel kind of nailed it when he was like, for a younger audience. I think when you picture that, I think all of those things kind of make sense.
It makes sense, but it's also the reason there isn't a second one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it wasn't children writing reviews.
No, and like children don't pay for movie tickets. Adults pay for movie tickets to take their children to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you have to make it's really tough to make a kids movie because you have to make something that kids will like, and you also have to make it good enough that adults will sit through it. It's not
Kids want to go back to see movies that they like over and over again.
Yes.
But if a parent goes, that ERAGON movie was horrible, I'm not going back to
Yes.
it, and they're just not going to see it again.
especially for movies, because a TV show, if you're a parent, and I have 3 younger siblings, so this is how I would babysit them. A TV show, you could put them in front of whatever colorful shit was on, you know, and you don't have to watch it. You can go do other shit. But in a movie theater, if I'm taking a kid to a movie theater, there's nothing else for me to do. I have to watch whatever's being presented, so it has to be good enough that I can sit through it. You know what I mean?
Like Shrek.
Like Shrek. Yes, that's a perfect example.
It's random, but did you know that like at the time of his death, Chris Farley was like 3 years into production on Shrek?
Yes, I want the cut because I think they have. I really want. They never will, but I really want DreamWorks to release a cut of Shrek 1 with Chris
Do you
Farley's
think they would
voice.
have the entire thing or like just part of it?
I think they might have most of it. I would just like to see like him fully animated, like a full scene of him fully animated. You know what I mean? I think that would
Putting
be
on
nice.
like a Shrek voice, whatever his was.
Well, I've heard they released some of the audio, but it's just not to animation, right?
Right.
And he really just is doing Chris Farley. He's not doing a Scottish. The Scottish accent was a what's his name? Mike Myers thing. Mike Myers introduced that. Chris Farley was just like, well, I'm Tommy Boy. You know what I mean? Like that's what the character was. Anyway,
I think
Well-
I would give ERAGON a 3 out of 10. I thought it was enjoyable, but kind of maybe 4. We'll do 4 out of 10. It was kind of fun garbage, but also kind of hard to sit through at times. I would watch it again, but not in the foreseeable future.
A watch again with a 4 out of 10? That is wild.
I would rather.
You know, I have not given a positive review to any Transformers movie, but I've seen them so many times.
That's crazy.
So-
You know that's crazy, right?
Fast
You
and
know, I've
Furious
seen-
1, 2, and Tokyo Drift, I would give 10s out of 10s.
Say what
That's
is
crazy, man.
what is happening right now?
Dude, the first 3, oh my god.
Okay, here's my real thoughts about ERAGON. I would rather be.
These have all been fake before.
No.
I've just been
This is
lying.
this is my real thoughts. I think this was a 3 out of 10. I think if the action was better, I'd give it like a 7 to 8. I'd give it a 7 if the action wasn't edited as poorly as it is. Literally just for the fact that it's an escapism action movie and the action sucks, I have to give it a 3. You know what I mean? But if I'm gonna judge this on being like a kids movie, you know, like just a kids movie escapism action thing, if the action was really fun and engaging, I would give it a 6 to 7 to 7.5. But it's not. It sucks. So I give it a 3.
I will reiterate my 5 out of 10. I thought that although there were glaring issues with the movie, I don't think it was necessarily like... I didn't struggle sitting through it. I enjoyed a lot of parts of it, and I would rewatch it, but I'm not going to recommend this to somebody.
If it fixed the pacing problems of just jumping through stuff too quick and it was like another 20 minutes longer, it would honestly probably be a worse experience watching it because it's so boring. I
don't even mean the pacing. I just mean the editing of the action. Literally, I mean the editing of the fight scene.
There's like 3 or 4 fight scenes, and you said, I'll give it a 3, but if the editing and the action scenes were better, I'd give it a 7.
Yes.
That's crazy.
100%,
dude. 4 points.
That's worth 4 points. In an action fantasy movie, it's definitely worth 4 points, for sure.
I'm giving it 3, and that's with the nostalgia tipping the scales a little bit. That's my final answer.
That's my final offer. The correct answer is Mason's answer. It's fine. It's fine.
It's a 5.
It's fine. It's a 5 out of 10. Who cares?
In this summation that I wrote to give myself notes, in quotes I have in 2 words mid-rate. So I think that can probably describe this movie pretty well.
Actually, I got a quote. So. I got a quote from this movie that actually goes hard. This is bars. I like to find my favorite quote from every movie. You ready?
Okay.
This is the best quote in this movie. Death should never be celebrated. Goes so hard. When Eragon's all like fucking hyped that he killed that thing, and he's like, and fucking Scar is like, don't fucking do that, you prick. You're a prick. You're a little fucking prick, and no one loves you. I love it. And it's especially more heavy that he's his dad for some reason.
Pretty heavy.
Pretty heavy.
Because death should not be celebrated. By the way, I'm not your dad.
By the way, you're an orphan and nobody loves you.
By the way, I'm not your dad. Like, talk to me in the 3rd movie. If it gets made.
Except he's dead.
I think we can get the Eragon fan base to get... I think Disney owns the rights to this now. Get Disney executives to listen to us and go, we need a second Eragon movie.
Yeah,
make the Eragon actor is
Disney
38 now.
You see their model now. That we can't sell that. What we can sell them is a series.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus.
A terrible 8-episode Disney Plus series with...
They should do what they did with Spiderwick, where they made an entire series and then realized it sucked, so then they sold it to the Roku channel, and now it's a Roku original. Eragon, a Roku original.
Is that a thing that happened? Is that
I think it speaks to Roku that Carter and I did not know that existed.
It's real. It's out.
You know what's crazy?
For like a year.
I have a Roku TV and I didn't fucking know that it was a thing.
Oh yeah, same.
I only know of one Roku original before that, and that's the Weird Al movie.
The Weird Al movie.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of our Eragon review.
I think that's also the end of our Eragon review. Let's end it.
Let's end the Eragon review. And the Eragon review is over. Good job, guys. We did it. Anyway, moving on. What should we do?
Who would you cast for the second Eragon movie that just got greenlit right now? We're doing the next Eragon, and we're going to cast Timothée Chalamet to play Eragon 2.
Carter's gotten the rights to make a second Eragon movie.
He bought it
Who should
from
be
Disney.
cast?
Eragon 2, Electric Blue Boogaloo with Timothée Chalamet.
We're holding auditions. Send your audition tapes in.
Send your audition.
Carter, what's the email?
Have tryouts.
Pacific Standard Guys at gmail.com. Send your auditions for Eragon 2 to Pacific Standard Guys at gmail.com.
Bonus points if you do an action scene with a cool looking sword.
bonus
By yourself.
bonus points if you include a headshot and list of hobbies and interests.
But if your hobbies and interests are lame, minus 10 points. You know what I'm saying? Like if we don't fuck with your hobbies and interests, then it's gonna put you lower in the standings.
Yeah, basically list your interests if there also are interests.
We're not gonna tell you what those interests are. You have to guess.
Yeah.
Put Bionicle down.
No, don't tell, you fucking idiot.
You can put Bionicle down, but you're only gonna get 1 out of 3 possible points.
Yeah, me and Mason don't give a shit about Bionicle. It's
Lego or nothing.
it's Lego
That's
or
what they
fucking
think.
nothing.
That's what you guys think.
Fuck Mega Bloks.
Dude, Mega Bloks
And
are
that's our
cheap.
show, everybody.
Anyway, guys, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.